Hi everyone. For this video, we're going to focus on how the eye sees the image of the object by drawing a ray diagram. For this specific example, do note that this object has been labeled AB. Now we're going to keep this example as simple as we can, hence it's a two-dimensional diagram. Now, don't worry about the labeling AB, it will come in handy later. So first, from point B of the object, we're going to extend a normal which is perpendicular to the mirror surface and extend it in all the way inside the mirror. And then you're going to use a ruler to measure that the normal outside the mirror and the normal inside the mirror are equal in length. And hence the other end of the normal, we're going to label it D. And D is actually the image of B. So we're going to do the same for the other end of the object, point A. So draw the normal from point A and extend it all the way inside the mirror. And then use a ruler to measure that the normal outside and inside the mirror are equal in length, as indicated here. And note that this point is now known as point C. So point C is actually the image of A. And you're going to connect point C to point D with a dotted line. And this dotted line represents the image of AB. So this is how we locate the image of the object by using the equal distance method. Also note that the arrowhead is located at B, so the image of the arrowhead must be at D. Next, we're going to connect a straight line from C to the eye. So from C, we're going to connect a straight line all the way to the eye, and this line intersects the mirror, and we're going to label this intersection E. Also note that the line behind the mirror must be dotted because this represents a virtual ray. And the line outside the mirror must be full because this represents the light ray. And also note that the eye sees the image, so that means the light ray must be entering the eye, and hence draw the arrow pointing into the direction of the eye. After that, then for the next line, you're going to draw a full line from A to E. Now this line is outside the mirror, and a full line represents the light ray as mentioned earlier on. And this light ray strikes the mirror surface before it's reflected to the eye. So draw the full line from A to E. Also, since the light ray is reflected to the eye from the mirror surface, so that means the direction of the light ray must be from A onto the mirror, and hence note the direction as represented by the arrow. Next, draw another straight line from C to the eye, but this time round note that the line touches the other end of the eye. And this line now intersects at point F. Also note that the line behind the mirror must be dotted because it represents the virtual ray. And the line outside the rear mirror must be full. It represents a light ray. And since the eye sees the image, the light ray must be traveling from the mirror into the eye as denoted by this arrowhead. After that, draw a light ray from A to F, and this ray represents the light from A that strikes the mirror surface before it's reflected to the eye. So it travels from A to F, and hence note the direction of the arrow. It has to point from A to F. After that, draw another straight line from point D to the eye. Point D to the eye, and this line will intersect at G. This line will intersect the mirror at G. Note also that the line behind the mirror must be dotted because it represents a virtual ray, and the line outside the real mirror must be full because it represents a light ray. And since the eye sees the image, the direction of the light must be traveling from the mirror into the eye, and hence we're going to draw the arrow pointing into the eye to represent the light ray traveling towards the eye. And the next ray will be from point B to the intersection at G. Now this line represents the light ray from B that strikes on the mirror surface before it's reflected to the eye. So since the ray from B strikes the mirror surface, the direction of light is traveling from B to G, and hence is denoted by the arrowhead from B to G. Another light ray will be drawn from D to the other side of the eye, and this line intersects at H. So it intersects the mirror at H, and this line behind the mirror must be dotted as mentioned earlier because it represents the virtual light ray. And the line outside the mirror must be full. It represents the light ray. And since the light ray from the mirror travels to the eye for the eye to see the image, the direction of arrow must be from H to the eye as represented by the arrow. And the last line to be drawn will be from B to H. And this line represents the light from B that strikes on the mirror surface at H before it's reflected to the eye. And since the light ray travels from B to H, it must be represented by the arrow from B to H. And this is how the eye is able to see the image of the object.